Guys, I slept in past 10 a.m. Incredible. I very rarely, sleeping in to me is like if I sleep until 6. I'll take it. It happens occasionally. Does it not? You know those days? I've always been like that. I remember a couple years ago, but I was working a lot, and that was when I was driving 100,000 kilometers a year. There would just be moments I'd get home from work and just pass out in my clothes. Like literally just lay down with my boots and my clothes on and then sleep for like 13 hours. Perhaps some of you are in need of a deep snooze, you know? Okay, so Spirit wants to talk about a couple things. Okay, so yesterday morning, the download started immediately, and then I had this incredible day yesterday, and I just couldn't really get into it. I could barely do a reading. Ah, my little plant's falling. Hold on. You stay right there, little fern. Okay, so yesterday, before I even left the house, just as I was leaving the house yesterday to go for a walk, the power went out at 6 a.m. Now, if you're new to the channel, ever since I moved into this place, the power has been a very interesting point of interest. Yeah. The power is either on all the time or it's off all the time. And then, so whatever, I was just like, great, I'm already leaving the house, who cares? Hopefully it'll be back on by the time I get back. And when I was walking, like 2 hours into my big walk, and my shitty flip-flops that I need to throw out, someone had graffitied on a power line, no less. I was gonna take a photo of it. I can take a photo of it later when I go for a walk. But the tag said, something not always there, or something to the effect, I think I might have just butchered it by like one word, but something to the effect of, something not always there, but always there. And I was like, Spirit, girl, it's 6 a.m. We're really philosophical. I was like, we're already into a Japanese koan. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, okay. And then it occurred to me, oh, this house with the power always either on or always off. And when I say power always on, I have this one light in the kitchen that is attached to this weird dimmer, so it just won't turn off. And then when we had a brownout, when all the lights were flickering on and off and just going nutso babazzo, the only two lights that would stay on consistently was in the kitchen with these. So anyway, so power. So there's something here about the idea of our power. And isn't it true when we feel disempowered a lot of times? A lot of times we believe that we're not powerful, or we forget just how powerful we are. Our truest essence. Who we are outside of this whole little meat cloth business, this little character. You know, we're so much more. Like, I personally know to be true, I am so much more than this iteration of Mariko. So, there's that. And then when I was thinking about the Japanese koan, now for any of you who did not watch, I had 2 big downloads. I did the 2 videos about the circle of fifths. And I mentioned yesterday, Spirit is still on it. So then Spirit brought up Miyamoto Musashi. He wrote a book called The 5 Rings. What are rings? They're circles. Circle of fifths, the 5. So he was a great swordsman. I actually referred to him as the Sword Saint. Hold on. Yeah, he was referred to as the Sword Saint. He had 62 undefeated sword duels. That's a pretty good stat, is it not? Talk about self-mastery. So, yeah, there's a lot. But perhaps some of you, it's a really good read, and you don't have to read the book. If you just punch into YouTube, Miyamoto Musashi, or just put in the 5 rings, it'll pull it up for you. There's an audio book, it'll read it for you. Excellent. He also wrote a book called, I wrote it down, I haven't read it yet, Dokudo, or Dokodo, I think it's Dokudo, The Path of Aloneness. So food for thought. Okay, now, the last 4 days, I kept being shown a man, doesn't have to be a man, but I was personally seeing this dark beauty. And then I heard Indian mom, Mexican dad. Anyway, so sometimes I get downloads and things, and I just kind of put it to the side because I'm not really sure where we're going, and I'm getting always a lot. I can't keep up. But I did wake up at 5 this morning to go pee, to be honest, you know, those 5 a.m. pees. And I put on a show to fall back to sleep to, and it's one of my favorite channels, Mama? The Mexican moms who try food from all over the world. Oh, I love those ladies. I just love them. But the episode that they picked was the Mexican moms try Indian food. And I was like, okay, Spirit was like, ding, ding, ding. So someone here, either your mom is Indian and your dad is Mexican, or flip it and reverse it. Because then on the walk yesterday, someone hung up on a tree a keychain that had, I love Mexico, and it was this little girl. Anyway, so there's something here about Indian mom, Mexican dad. I really don't know what that means, but it's for someone here. And then Spirit wanted to touch upon plant medicine. So Spirit wanted me to back up to yesterday's reading when I was talking about where I made the connection with myself, where it dawned on me, like, when I get neurotic about the channel, like if I ever have a weird feeling, and then I was like, oh, it's actually when I have a little poof, when I smoke a little bit of cannabis. That's usually, but then Spirit wanted me to talk about the fact that there's a lot of teachers who talk about how cannabis, just like power, it reveals just who you are. It's a revealer. And I know that to be true. So I wanted to just kind of talk about that real quick. So I've been very open, if you're new to the channel. I do talk a lot about sobriety from the 12-step model. It's something I haven't experienced in. Something I love a lot, I believe in. And currently where I'm at in my journey is that cannabis is something that I still use. It's a relationship I think about a lot because I have a lot of, I've come from different spectrums. I'm a big believer in raw dogging life. I really am. That being said, I have a lot of back injuries. So there was a point in time where I was using it for pain management because I really don't love opiates. And at that time, I was pretty much crippled. Like, I couldn't put on my pants by myself. I couldn't even get out of bed. Couldn't bend over, pain through the roof. And of course, doctors really love to prescribe really hard things, and I am not into opiates. I think it's a personal journey, but for me, I really wanted to stay clear of that. So cannabis was a way for me to function in a way that felt good, and I was growing it myself, cultivating that relationship. But I've had a lot of teachers who are medicine people who talk a lot about plant spirit medicine, like the spirit of the plant. So everyone has their own journey. But what I know to be true is to think about even the amounts, like going back to even herbalism, when I studied a little bit of herbology, you're always thinking about efficacy. What are you trying to treat? What part of the plant do you use? You know, the roots are used for certain things versus the leaves or the flower. Amounts. I'm a big believer in praying with the plant that you're working with. And that can even be with just like regular, you know, they don't have to be things that get you necessarily stoned, but like there was many years where before I would light sage, I would just hold one piece of sage, not even the bundle, one piece, and pray over it and talk with it before I would light it. And same when I grew my own cannabis. Spirit, where do you want me to go with there's something here about it reveals. But what I was trying to say yesterday is that even without, like, even if I was kind of stepping into my neurotic moments, because essentially, like, fear can come out, it will find any door to come through. I just happen to notice that there's a certain threshold of cannabis. If I pass it, then we start to get into the realm of truth-telling of like, oh, let's reveal parts of self, and part of that is neuroses. But I talk a lot about knowing your emotional barometer, because the mind is a really tricky place. Fear knows how to disguise itself and creates those inner voices. So what I know to be true, when I step into a mindset or a feeling and I take it on, I internalize it, where I'm like, yes, this is absolutely how I feel, it's the truth, because I know my inner landscape and my emotional landscape and the emotional barometer enough, more often than not, I'll catch myself and be like, feelings aren't facts. So, you know, when I'm feeling really mortified sometimes about the channel and how I read and my perfectionism, and I get weird about emoting so much. It's just like with my perfectionism, I go, even if it is true, it's none of my concern. Because what I believe in more than kind of fearful, neurotic thinking is that, again, committing to the bit. I've committed to the whole thing. So even if I fuck up, if I get rejected, if I look stupid, if something embarrassing happens or not, or like whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's just about trying to be as authentic in the moment and follow the things that I love and believe in the moment. And if it falls flat, and even whether it's true or not, it's none of my concern. It's about, I have a goal, and kind of going, yeah, to like Miyamoto Musashi. It's about sharpening the sword and thinking about what dulls your sword and what sharpens the sword. Now, going back to substances, do I believe cannabis can be addictive? Yes. I have known people in my life that cannabis, they cannot control themselves. Some people believe that cannabis isn't addictive. I have not found that to be true. I think that people can be, remember that show, My Strange Addictions? There was a woman who was eating drywall. She couldn't stop. Now, I think that was a bit more of a compulsion, but still, like, you can get into trouble with anything. We all have our own path. You have to decide that for yourself. What I do know to be true, though, is that cannabis has a lot of great qualities and can teach you a lot. But like anything, the one kind of, when you push it more into the addictive realm, it pads. It's like a big soft blanket. And so going back to the sword analogy, it can really dull the senses. It's dulling because it's just kind of creating this kind of comfortable bubble to some extent, or I guess it depends on how you're intentionally using it. If you're just looking to check out and you smoke a big fatty, yeah. But I think there's ways of being with it that you don't have to be in 10 layers of padding. Anything else, Spirit? Okay. That's all I'm going to really say on that, but I think that message is for someone, because Spirit was really tooting the old horn about it. And I do see it, I know it's a conversation that comes up a lot in more spiritual communities. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer, because everyone has a very different path. I'm a big believer in just checking in with self. It's really hard to be honest with yourself, though. Like, this is where it gets really tricky. Like, again, mastery. Because it's really easy to say, like, like, it's all good, but try removing it. Like, right now, I'm giving up processed, or I'm not giving up, I'm moving away from eating certain things that have a lot of processed sugar in it, and I'm going back to 98% more like just whole foods, a lot of like grains, beans, and vegetables. This is why I have a migraine right now. So when people love to be like, I don't have a problem with this, or it's like, well, remove it, and then see how you feel about it, and how does it affect your mood. It's about mood altering. So if you can't regulate or access a feeling without a substance, that's my cue, and what would be a suggestion for anyone is that it should be a cue to investigate further why that is. I feel very differently about alcohol. Like, yes, you guys have seen me, I think, twice have a beer. I've also drank a non-alcoholic beer. Alcohol, spirits, that I believe is truly a spirit. They all have spirits, but alcohol for me is like, I really steer clear from that guy. That's a spirit I don't want around. Especially in hard times, like in the past 4 years, I just knew where I was headed, and I just knew that like alcohol had to be, not that I really drank, but I was like, I knew that psychologically it was a domestic. I've been in a time and really should have had access to a lot of supports, and I didn't. A lot of people find themselves in those positions, like when you're being endlessly stalked and harassed, post-separation abuse, like that's what they call it. Like when someone just won't leave you the fuck alone and you have to co-parent with them, it's beyond. So, and that would be for me why I would say for myself, cannabis actually kept me alive in the last 4 years, but I also had moments where I definitely used it to check out, and then it becomes about harm reduction. Only you can decide. There's no right or wrong. It's just about what are you hoping to achieve, and you have to be able to ask yourself really hard questions when things are not in balance. And for me, the best way to know how in balance you are to a person, place, or a thing is not just substances, because oh my god, like a friend of mine just quit smoking and then gained 40 pounds. You put down one thing, it's like whack-a-mole. It's not really necessarily about the thing that you're using, it's about addressing. There's something about self that doesn't know how to reach a state of something without assistance. Okay, well, we're at 20 minutes, so let's just leave it there, but it's something to think about. Let's pull some cards. Yeah, completely. Weird. I commented on someone's page in Instagram like a million months ago, and it just came up on my phone. But I don't know why. Because I left the comment, but it's trying to like... Okay, Spirit. That's weird. I don't know what that means. Okay, well... What deck do we want to use today? Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's like, here's another example. I really believe, and the studies are, science is catching up, but like psilocybin, it's healing multiple things in a clinical setting. I've seen it in action with other people under clinical settings and not clinical settings. I take plant medicine very seriously. Like, I think psilocybin could help me heal some PTSD stuff. But I have been sitting with this for over 6 years now. I have friends that are indigenous, that are part of the Native American Church, and I was invited many years ago to do ceremony. And it took me 2 years before I accepted, and I prayed. I wasn't sure if that was for me. And I did one ceremony, which was amazing. Well, no, amazing is such a cheap word. It was life-changing. That's a powerful medicine. But I have not felt called to go back to that. A lot of people will talk about how they'll pray on something and it's really their personality, and you're like, yeah, we can do this, and it's like, you gotta really, I don't know, there's something about the honest questions of self, like really getting honest, like, is this my personality? Am I looking and asking, like, why do I feel the need to have this experience? What am I hoping to accomplish? But really, cannabis and half a beer is really the only thing that I partake in. And even the beer, that's like just on the hottest days. You know what's so funny? I can never get past half a beer. You know why? I love the first 5 sips, and that's it. 5. Okay, well, 5 is about change. 5. Ooh, big roughly. Yeah, we're getting that little wind formation here. Okay, roughly breeze. Sorry, I'm hearing a Sam Cooke song. Oh no, it's a Reverend Dave. Oh God, name the names. A Great Change. Yeah. It's been a great change, Lord, since I've been born. Great change, Lord, since I've been born. Yeah, okay. Someone about to have like a rebirth here. Oh my god, like we're at 23 minutes. Okay, cards. Okay, that's where we're gonna confirm. Okay, so what's this great big change? Because there's something here. There must be a shift in conversation with yourself. The honesty, sharpening the blades. Okay, God, Jesus, Grandma, Buddha, archangels, all ascended masters, all of my benevolent ancestors, and spirit, or the collective spirit team. Let's call you guys in. Okay, Grandmama, what's this 5 business about? Three of Swords. So perhaps this is what some of this conversation is about. Again, no judgment. No judgment. I have, like I said, there's times in the past 4 years where I was using cannabis for like physical pain management, and then there was days where I was dealing with my son's mom and all the court stuff. 9,000 out of 10, terrible. And there was days where I was honest with myself, where I was like, I'm absolutely checking out today. I'm gonna smoke a big fatty. I'm not here to be spiritual. I'm trying to survive, and I need to be in a more heart-centered space. And that is one thing I will say about cannabis that I particularly, why I'm comfortable with that, is that I don't like alcohol because it changes me and other people in ways that I don't like. It's unpredictable. It tends to be more violent. And also, I don't like drunk people. I find it very unbecoming. Whereas with cannabis, at least for me, I can be in a real tizzy state. Again, when you're dealing with narcissists, and I'm talking about the disorder from the cluster Bs, like diagnosable sociopaths, the abusers of all abusers. Yeah, there's something to be said about not losing your fucking shit and being able to ground a little bit in a more heart-centered space. That was something I experienced. But I have gone months in my process of the last 4 years, like months with nothing, because I knew at that time I had to be locked in. And, you know, and then I leaned more on things like talking to spirits, talking to trees, screaming in my car, screaming into piles of dirt. Okay, so we have big ouchies here. You're leaving. Okay. Okay. So this is why we're talking about substance use. And again, I can't reiterate enough. There's no judgment here. It's just about honest conversations and asking yourself that only you can understand and know what is true for you. But I can't encourage enough that life is always about asking questions. Get curious, right? No judgment, just get curious. Ask yourself, why am I doing this right now? What am I looking to feel? Why do I feel like I can't get there without this? What would happen if I gave it up? You know? Page of Pentacles. I'm seeing this little, what looks like a little dandelion fluff here. And then this star. There's something about nautical. Like I really heard like the nautical star. Oh, look, we got little Jesus. Yeah, okay, Grandma, let's get your cross out. Exactly. Good morning, Grandma. Oh boy, beep, beep. Okay. Maybe this is just around addiction. Maybe it's not even around a relationship. Things that hurt you. I have lost a lot of friends to addiction and mental health. So I understand this. Because man, addiction, the spirit of addiction is a taker. Again, doesn't care who you are. I've had friends that are doctors be full-on drug addicts, and it cost them their career. I've seen them all. Doctors, lawyers, judges, policemen, policewomen, firefighters, nurses, teachers, like every profession, to, you know, not higher, what's considered higher professions. And it is heartbreaking. Someone's leaving that. Yeah, like there's a new opportunity here. So perhaps some of you, this is again about getting sober, because I saw that in the medallion yesterday. The Chariot. Well, there's movement. Ooh. And what I think is so hysterical about this particular Chariot is that normally it's the Emperor. Now, so sorry guys, My phone is just never ever gonna zoom again. I've concluded. It was the update. It was the Apple update. This guy's like wearing shades. He looks hilarious. He just kind of looks like, he reminds me of a surfer, like, and everything about the environment is like really intense. Everything's elongated, but then you just have this like very stately guy, and he's just got his cool shades on. And they're not rushing. Now, mind you, this is a pretty big carriage. I wouldn't want these horses galloping. It seems like topple over. Okay, but there's movement here. And you have a nautical star. Like, the dandelion to me is like a wish. If you've been struggling with something, we all know the wish. Oh, I know all about that. I have laid on my back and prayed that prayer of like, God, if you can see me through this or get me out of here, you know, the promises. But it really seems as though Spirit has showed up and says like, follow, I have the way. Like, and you don't have to be religious. I am seeing a cross. You don't have to love Jesus. You can just, whoever's on your team, just replace whatever that cross is. But whoever on your spirit team is leading the way for you. Because see here, we see her about to leave the cave of discontent. There's a new path forward, but we don't really know what that looks like. And perhaps you don't know what that looks like. Fair enough. Very rarely do we. There you are. Is someone actually coming towards you? Oh boy, we have a celebration here. Okay, hold on. Let's put these cards. Oh yeah, I brought my tiger balm. Yeah, my headache. Ugh. Tiger balm. A balm. Yeah. Something to massage and to help with the hurt. Hold on. Speaking of which, let's put on a couple tigers here. Also, this smell, that's healing. All I need to do is just smell the tigers. Oh. When people say, be careful of your eyes, girl, I've put this under my eyes, I put it in my nose. There's not a place that the tiger balm has not seen. Exactly. Beep. Confirmation. Don't be afraid. Yeah, don't be afraid of the tigers. Oh, put a little on the TMJ. Okay, here we go. Well, the Emperor drives the chariot. Do you have an Emperor come towards you and you're about to celebrate? Okay, well, let's get the last three cards and then let's get a little snoopy here. Okay. Oh. Okay, well, two of Penties, we're going to put under the chariot. Okay, the mastery of self. Okay, hold on. And then we have Justice. She's going underneath the Empress. Yes. Okay, so who's the last card? You. Temperance. Balance. See? There's something here about balancing something that's out of balance. Four of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Do you see the Two of Cups? Okay, we're just going to put that away for a hot second. Okay, I'm going to switch decks. I'm going to do a little clarifying. I am kind of seeing, to be honest, two energies. Like, I think the Three of Swords Chariot, Two of Pentacles might just be its own person. And then the Six of Swords Empress Justice. And then this is about the dynamic, the Page of Pentacles to the Three of Cups of Temperance. Now, this might be a relationship between you and Spirit. It may not. It could be a real person. Let's find out. Let's get a little Snoopy and Scoopy. But what I am seeing, though, is harmony. Look at all the balance. Oh, man. Whether this is, like, sobriety, not sobriety. The last 3 cards, how they sit together, this is all balance, baby. You couldn't have more balance if you tried. Because again, the Two of Pentacles tends to denote a lot on the plate. But going back to the Mastery, Miyamoto, so you see the movements, these movements showing what I call like the infinity symbol. It's like, you don't want to drop a pentacle. He's not really juggling. He's moving. And I like the sun, like the straight line, centered. Again, balance. For some reason, Collective, I feel as though you're the Six of Swords Empress Justice. You don't have to be. You could be that Three of Swords Emperor driving the chariot to the Two of Pentacles. Oh, interesting. Sorry. Spirit really loves to talk to me through symbology, so I try to really look at the cards because I always miss stuff. So what Spirit was showing me is that we have these 2 little angels, and then we got these little 2 with their crazy little hair pieces. In fact, Madame, I believe this is you, but you're in an altered state. An altered state. This is about altered states. Because look, she's a bit fussy here, isn't she, right? This is always my dress of discontent. It always looks a little bit too tight. She looks uncomfortable. These are the scales of justice, but when you look up close, there's nothing to anchor. Like the scales aren't hanging, like they're not on her. It's very strange. Altered states. Okay, well, let's find out. Ooh. Is it this deck or the other deck? Ooh, the other deck, okay. Tristan, are we going with old mystical moments here? For some reason, they're bringing me back to the Mexican moms. There's one of the Mexican moms. Her name is Susanna? I believe it's Susanna. So perhaps, I'm also hearing the name Cathy. Who was talking about Cathy? I was watching something this morning where the word Cathy was really important. So Cathy or Susanna. That's coming through. Okay, what is the Three of Swords, please? What type of Three of Swords? What is this Three of Swords? Oh, big ouchies. But look at this. Even though this person's heartbroken, this is somebody coming in. Look at this, the fucking archway. I love when the cards do this. What I didn't see. Okay. This is why I really like to look. Okay. This isn't clouds. It's a tree design. Where did I just see? Huh. Okay, but we have the archway. So the King of Cups, now this is like my Scorpio King of Cups. I feel, because again, I see her as, she's letting you in, but she's still kind of holding back a little bit. She's a bit stormy, but that's also because she's just been in the Three of Swords. So somebody's gonna let you in, but Three of Swords, just know they have been in the ouchies. Not sure if they can trust you, but they're gonna let you in, and they're gonna watch. Now, you should know, like, their base is a rock. This is a rock. So even though they're the element of water, they're solid like a rock, they have depth, and they're highly intelligent. This is the octopus. Octopuses are so intelligent. Oh, I love octopuses. But then again, what in the natural world don't I love? She's future facing, so this is great. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Uh-oh, someone can't start the car. Yeah, okay. Okay. Tell me about the Chariot. Yeah, we're gonna go down. Chariot. Which one are you? Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, because the horses are moving slow. Slow and steady. Oh, a Taurus. I'm feeling Taurus. Yeah, cool. He's got his cool shades on. Little top hat. This horse is made of leaves. So again, it doesn't appear as though we're going very quickly, but they are dressed up. Yeah. See, look. He's got on his little shawl, cool glasses. And even though this horse is made of leaves, look at those little dainty, and a little top hat. I love this. Okay. And it's a solid offer. Yeah, this person's moving slow. You gotta know that whoever you are to this person, you have moved them so much that even though they've been in this terrible time, like truly terrible, like big ouchies, you know, the Three of Swords, it's tremendous. It's the type of heartache. You guys know what I mean? There's a type of pain where pain isn't even the word. Like grief. There's a flavor of grief. Yes, that's what it is. Where you hold your breath, it's so painful that when you quickly look at it, you can't even stay there too long because it's so painful, or what it feels like, and that's the issue, is choosing to. I've had moments of that. Sometimes when I don't get to see my son as often due to the distance right now, and kind of this terribleness with his mom, I've caught myself, again, having to be honest, being like, oh, it takes my breath away. And then I want to, yeah, it's like holding breath, which is not good. You want to breathe through your pain. And I've caught myself at times trying to, it's so painful that you kind of just want to like look away for a second. But again, going back to knowing your emotional barometer, stay in it, breathe through it. It's just like giving birth. You gotta breathe through it, stay present, look at it, lean in instead of leaning out, because that's what connects you to your heart. Yeah, that's the thing about pain, is that it's so painful that sometimes you want to be out of your heart. But know that, oh yeah, that was the message I got yesterday too. I was thinking about feeling the word, everyone is like, I feel broken, or, oh, wind, come on now, don't blow these cards. They showed me that it's not you're broken, and when your heart's broken, actually it's just like an egg. It's actually being cracked open to love more if you allow it to. Let all the flavors in. That's when your heart is functioning at its best. It's not about just the good feelings. It's about feeling all of them at the same time. That's why I couldn't do a reading yesterday. When I get into gratitude crying, it's because it's all of the feelings. That's the only thing that's shifted for me now, is existing in two states at the same time. there are things about my life currently that are still utterly, I'm working with Spirit to be like, it's not my preference, but clearly you have a plan, and I've decided to lean into trust and faith. And again, hold up my own receipts of belief to be like, either I believe you are omniscient, and you have a plan, and you see things that I don't. But yeah, absolutely. There's things about my everyday life that are still eviscerating. But what I've learned to be true is that everything is here right now. Everything that you need, all those adages, and like power. Power doesn't disappear. When we feel disempowered, it's not like power went off anywhere. It's all right here. It's about whether you can access it. And it's the same with the heart space. Sorry guys, she's gonna be a long one. This is not gonna be for everyone, and you don't have to stick around. I'm just gonna continue on, but you gotta go, you gotta go. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Too many, too many. Okay. Two of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands. See? That's like the heart, the branch. Yeah, like whipped to death. But look, not only did she stitch herself up, but again, she got dressed. You know what I mean? That's what showing up for yourself is on those days where you want to lay down and die. Truly. I'm not being hyperbolic here. This isn't hyperbole. We all know those days, huh? And that's really all we are. We're just a bunch of wounds walking around right now. We just mirror each other. We're just mirroring our wounds, but a lot of us, it's like, we gotta pay the bills, we gotta get up, we got stuff to do. It's about playing the part of being like, well, this and that are true. I'm in a lot of pain, but yeah, we gotta get dolled up. So this person, they are an emperor. They're showing that. They're showing that even though heart's broken, stabbed, not really sure who they can trust, because they're finding balance here, mastery of self, they're trusting themselves enough to see the Six of Swords Empress Justice person to be like, okay, this and that are true. I've experienced these things. It's decimating. But it doesn't, I always say this, pain is not the last stop. It just isn't. Pain is not the last stop on this bus stop. It's an elevator. It really is a pretty immediate way. If it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger, but it's like, if you want to really grow in leaps and bounds, use pain as a tool, as opposed to fighting it. Yeah, just like Sam Cooke, don't fight it, feel it. And that's a great song. Okay. So now, let's get into the Six of Swords, Empress, Justice. Okay, so this person's also moving towards you. Or who? Yes, oh my god, literally the Eight of Cups. And they're both facing the same direction. This is incredible. Look at that. See? So, it's to my left. So this is, I feel like the recent past this person has left. It looks like a partner, because they're really focusing, yeah, monogamous, and with that, mother and child. So I see someone, yeah, we're getting a lot of divorce, D-Town. Mother and child. I'm thinking of Paul Simon now. Diamonds on the sole of her feet. When I was a little boy, it's just a boy. Now that's not the diamond on the soles of her feet. Who do you think you're fooling when I was just a boy? Yeah, who do you think you're fooling? Ooh, I feel like that's this person that they left. Yeah, man-child. Being like, where do you think you're going? Who do you think you're fooling? You're not leaving me. Ugh, God. Right? P.U. Yeah, this person's, oh my God, the Empress to the Empress. Wow, cards, you're really, again, Spirit, we're locked in. We are locked in, babe. Okay. Okay, well, let's talk about this justice. Yeah, I love that song. Justice is the Two of Cups. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry a little bit because it's right beside these two. It's the, who do you think you're fooling? It's getting me emotional because, to be honest, I realize with all of this, the talking beforehand, but it's like, I see two people who have left some terrible conditions. And if it isn't our own internal dialogue, it's others' people, right? Death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah, like, yeah, where do you think you're going? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're fooling? And those aren't even the worst of the terrible things that these people can say, but I just feel like the justice, oh, it's a beautiful thing. Wow. They're really pointing out the red nails here and this bracelet. It's like is it the mala? The Buddhist mala? I should know. I'm really bad with names. And I spoke a lot about Japan, and that came through in the other one. Perhaps I do have some Japanese folks here. Either way, one of you perhaps wears red lipstick and, yeah, I'm just seeing that red nail polish very strongly. We do have some air sign business here, because we have Justice and with the conjoined, I'm seeing like Gemini and Libra. Okay, so what is the Page of Pentacles about? The Four of Wands. Look, they're dancing the night away. Sam Cooke is really coming through. He did this live album, live in Harlem. That album is so fucking killer. Can't recommend it enough. Yeah. Feel it. Don't fight it. Yeah, don't fight it, feel it. Okay, so I think for some of you, going back to Sam Cooke, Dancing the Night Away, it might get a little triggery at moments for you two, because you're both coming from terrible humans or circumstances. Going back to the tiger balm, you know when you're cleaning a wound, like the thing that is actually like the most loving and healing? Oh, remember when I ate shit on my bike? Oh God. When my pals, they helped me because I ate shit on my bike this summer, and man, I had a real juicy wound here. And yeah, when my two pals up the street helped me to clean it, Johnny was pouring on some rubbing alcohol. Fuck. That hurt more than, yeah, the cleaning of the wounds hurts more than sometimes the original incident or incidences. Oh, fuck. Oh, it took me there. I did. I had to, like, hang onto the wall and, like, tap my foot. Yeah. Okay. But you guys are gonna celebrate. You are gonna celebrate. Ace of Cups. There's so much love here. Last card, Temperance. It's the Two of Cups though. Like, it's just love on love on love and balance. The Queen of Cups. Guys, honestly, I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it in the heart. I love to see, honestly, I love to see it. I really do. I really love when people have had to eat a lot of shit sandwiches. And to be honest, anyone who's coming from domestics, you'll know. This is really nice to see two people show up with their wounds and to still choose to love themselves, to believe in love, to want to love another, to want to let someone into the heart space when people have done terrible things. Okay, Grandma, how are we gonna close this out? Well, we have some planning. It's this Knight of Pentacles. See, it's the other little shoe was in red with the laces, but this is green. Yeah, they're planning from their heart. They're holding the world. So they're trying to figure out a way. Again, the Chariot, how to get to you. Sitting on the roof. Well, they have a higher vantage point, and we see that even in the Chariot. Like, this is a big boy carriage, and everyone's really tall in this deck. Yeah. And even with this, oh my God, in the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups is a divine counterpart. You two are conjoined. You're not even cut from the same cloth. It's like the conjoined twins that get separated. And see, look, you're gonna get wrapped up. Yeah, it's like someone, when you came into this life, you guys were conjoined twins, and then there was a little bit of a surgery, separated you two. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, look, twining and this wrapping. It's like bringing you back together and wrapping you. Beautiful, but yeah, this Emperor person has a higher vantage point, and they've been planning. Because MP Empress, I don't know if you see this coming yet. Yeah, Spirit, tell us about MP Empress, the Nine of Cups. This is the one I was talking about in another reading, the big ruffles. Well, this Emperor sees you as wish fulfillment. You are everything. You are the real deal. You are as stately and regal and royal. And in fact, I would say, like, I know, and yeah, you can be a male in this category, but every single card in this pile has been denoted by a female. Whereas in the Emperor, we have both men and women, but we have more, oh, it's balanced. Huh. What do we have over here? A lot of feminine. Huh. Well, we already saw, we know this person's balanced. Well, whoever this Emperor is, whatever gender, they're divine masculine and divine feminine. They're in balance. Yeah, they're in sync. Especially if they are a male. That's really beautiful to see. Men, we, in my humble opinion, we're at our sexiest when we 5 toes in the more masculine energy and 5 toes in the feminine. Gentle but firm. Soft but ferocious. You know? MP Empress. Holy fuck. We're not fucking around here. Okay, well, we're at like an hour. I gotta stop it here because really, and I don't really want to, but okay, hold on. One last card. Just one to really. How do you guys meet? Just quickly, Grandma, Spirit, Jesus. Little tea party and the scales of justice. Oh my God. And again, going back to Japanese. I swear one of you has some Japanese going on in here. Do you meet at a little coffee shop? Or going back to a date? This is about generosity, pouring into someone else's cup. Okay, wait, hold on. A little bit snoopy. Okay, 6 of Pentacles. How else do you guys meet? What are the, like, what's the environment? What does the environment look like? Is it actually like a tea party? Oh, you're upside down. Oh, hold on. This. The dandelion. We saw that in that, this guy, the Page of Pentacles. The dandelion fluff. He's not been blown on. But going back to the higher vantage, so someone's been watching. So the Emperor is watching the Empress. That's the environment. Oh, I mean, you guys could technically, your first interaction, like, because we're all on the internet, so one of you may have seen the other from afar, social media. You could also be a content creator, but like the ability to watch someone from afar at distance. I'm getting like, I don't know, I feel like you guys are gonna have tea over FaceTime or something. This guy's wearing a raincoat. When it rains, it pours. Oh boy, does it rain. It does pour when it rains. Like, I feel like whatever this is. Yeah, Empress, I don't think you see this coming. Does this person live in a rainy climate? This Emperor might live in a rainy climate. Because they got this big old squall. Like a sailor, yeah. Oh yeah. Because that King of Cups, yeah, she's stormy. It's wet. I have been picking up a lot on Vancouver. Or it just might be raining on the day that you guys connect. A rainy day in the mountains. I don't know. The fern. I'm looking at my fern. Oh, this is giving BC. I'm sorry, it's giving Vancouver. The cherry blossoms. Oh my God. I was just thinking to myself, guys, so if you're not familiar, my grandma's passed. She was a saint. She was a Pisces. She lived all of her many years in Vancouver, and she's buried there. Guys, little known fact, I don't know where my grandmother's buried. I haven't been to her grave. When she passed away, I was in New York at the time, and very rarely do I get to go out west. It's, yeah. And I was just thinking yesterday, thinking of how I'm always like unraveling a mystery. I was like, oh my God, this is the year I need to go to Vancouver. I haven't been back to Vancouver in a really long time, or just the West Coast. It's been a long time. But I was thinking, I'm like, this is a year I need an adventure. So guys, I don't know how or when, I decided last night, I'm like, I gotta get to Vancouver. I gotta go find my grandmother's grave. And that's gonna be really solving a mystery. And that's gonna be me working with grandma and spirit to be like, okay, because I'm not really in contact with my family who knows where she's buried, and I do not want to talk to them ever again. ever. And I love the idea of Grandma working with me to go find her grave. Stay tuned. Mark my words. This is an official, and we will all go unravel that mystery together. We'll film it. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. That's a long. If you guys made it this far, I don't know who this message was for. I know that not all of my messages are gonna be for you guys. Wow. To whoever you two are, I just cannot, it literally fills my heart with so much delight. This is the good shit. This is really, like, there are no words. It's so beautiful. Okay, that's it. Stay blessed. Stay golden. Go get a smoochie.